Okay, hello everyone. I am Nora. It's very exciting to host this crypto market insight session with our guest. Today, we are thrilled to have with us our guest who will be sharing their opinions on the market trends. As host of today's discussion, I'll be leading us through a thought-provoking conversation that promises to be both informative and engaging. So, whether you are an experienced crypto user or just getting started, we encourage you to sit back, relax, and join us for what is sure to be an enlightening discussion on this week's market performance, trends, and hotspots. The live session is broadcasting on CoinW Live channel and CoinW's YouTube channel. Welcome all to watch and leave your opinions or questions about market, coin exact trend comment. Our guest will pick up some to answer, and I'll mention that our audience can join the CoinW official community to claim the 20 USDT rewards. Please check the live details for the link. Okay, and in this part, we would like invite our guests to share your market insights on any crypto tokens you want to talk about. Please be free to share the screen to let us watch your charts. Firstly, let's welcome Jay. Okay, Jay, could you please open your microphone?
Oh, my bad. My bad. Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's okay.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. So this week is kind of choppy, guys. We had CPI last night, and the news is kind of good. But last night I was talking to everyone. The bound is chopped. So we call it a chop bounce. So this is what happened from last night. The CPI but keep coming back. But today we reclaim back above 70 300 ish, and actually still kind of like range bound chop. And if you guys see here, last night we detect a bull flag in here. Okay, this is 382 Fibonacci, and still not hit the zero point 0.5. So this is still the bull flag, but we are getting twice once a false break and coming back up. So if we can reclaim and hold above this white line, so I think we might see around 73 above 75. But it's kind of choppy, guys, because tomorrow, like always, we got triple hike impact, and this is kind of rare. Usually jolt it's happened today on Thursday. It's always on Thursday, but they stack it at the same time. So tomorrow we got jolts, core PCE, and we got GDP month to month at the same time. So tomorrow is super, or we call it triple high impact. I mean, like, I don't know, guys. If all the news is good, the volatility can be high as, I don't know. It will be crazy for tomorrow. But if everything bad, you know what happened when the news bad. So, but judging from here, the US bond 10 years seems like going to break. So these things already like negative correlative with Bitcoin. So if this thing break down, so I expect high risk assets as Bitcoin and gold, Zao also like perform. So Zao is reclaiming. Look at Zao is looking good, and we got Zao on CoinW, and it seems kind of making like head and shoulder in here, but it's kind of good on 30 minute. And we also got oil. So this is with the war happening right now, oil is kind of performing right now. So we got rejected, but I don't think this is a swing high yet. So if we can have bad news again on oil, I don't know, on Middle East, maybe oil can get more high as 140. So this is for oil. And if oil pumping, that's not good for higher asset, guys. Just as so this is vice versa for Bitcoin. But luckily, while oil is pumping, crypto is holding well this time. And it's shocking me. It's really shocked. And this is 3-day charts. All right. And we are still inside bar right here. Look at these big factors. We are still inside bar right here. So the tops of this high is 79. So that was possible. And if you guys see on the 3 days, you can see clearly red, green, red, green, red, green, and vice versa. And if we can close the green on the 3-day chart, which is we're gonna move the candle around Saturday on the 14th. Yeah. So that means the sideways is over. All right. If we can close green, but if we can close red, yes, so that means Saturday we might still going sideways inside this bar, but rest assured this is the range low, range high. So 78, 80 is quite possible. It's the top probability like 70, 60%. So in case we need to break this, but right now on the 4 hour, we still like kind of struggling right here. Look at this. We're struggling. We're struggling. And if I put back right here, so we're trying to break, and the candle is going to be close around today this 11. And if we can break, so I think tonight we can see something break out on Bitcoin. But some else is quite good, guys. Like near, uh, still holding my near. Look at the third quarter, I still like higher for near, and some else that performing like crazy, like Pixel 173%, 170%. So this thing, I don't know. It might come down, guys. It might come down because it could be this is a swing high. So all I need is swing another higher low right here, maybe like retesting supply around here. So maybe like supply, bam, bam. If we can reject one more time, so I think I'm gonna short this. I'm gonna short it because look at this, so much liquidity. When some coin pumping high, the left liquidity a lot below. So this is for Pixel. All right. Thank you, Nora. Thank you, guys. Cheers.
Okay, great. Let's wait for the good news tomorrow. Thanks for Jay. Well, next one, let's hear from Priya.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me, Nora. So, yes, good evening, everyone. Let's get into the look into the market condition. And yeah, this time during this war, I think market was actually reacting so positively. So right now, so it is mixed sentiment, and right now when I look into the Bitcoin, it's actually closer to the recent resistance level, and when it breaks, we can expect this market to give more pump actually, but it's right now around in between the 70K, so 69 to 70K range. And also currently we are seeing that it was in a sideways and it's struggling to give break and even we are looking forward to break the 71, so it was in a sideways. So after failing to hold about, yeah, if it's failed to hold about the 71K even yeah earlier in this week, market is currently in consolidation phase. So as the traders okay, also wait for the clearer macro signals as well. Okay, so one of the main factor which affecting the market right now is global macro uncertainty, so that everyone was aware about, so especially rising oil prices and geopolitical tensions as well. So those factors are making investors slightly cautious, which is also why we are seeing more volatility and slower momentum in the crypto. Yeah, it was too slow. Moving a condition towards crypto, but even though we are seeing some more positive stuffs towards crypto, and the support is also very short term. So yeah, as I told you, in between the 69 to 70K, which was running, and also when it gives a break on 71, again you might expect the big changes towards this BTC. And again, as usual, Ethereum is also following the same movement. Ethereum is also holding about 2K, so that level is also the good one. So and so while some altcoins are also showing a small rebound, um so overall crypto market capitalization is also remains around $2.4 trillion. So which also indicating that the market is still relatively stable despite the uncertainty actually. So what I'm looking for right now, maybe again, if it breaks to 71, again the target could be 75 or more than that for the BTC. So maybe that remains a major resistance zone. So overall, the market is currently in a waiting phase. So we can't decide very fastly. So we can't make a decision quickly, right? So this is in a waiting phase. We have to wait. So with the investors also closing watching the macro developments and the liquidity conditions for the next big move. So until that, it is going to react in a very smaller moment, like smaller bullish moment. So that we are looking right now. So let's wait for the better moments in future. Thank you.
Okay, great, great. Thanks for Priya. Well, next one, let's hear from Boris.
Hey, how are you guys? Let me just share my screen. Give me 1 second. All right, so I'm gonna cover Bitcoin at first, and then go into the others. So yeah, key thing for me on Bitcoin. Zooming out to the daily. Actually, first I wanna go to the 3 month time frame on Bitcoin because it's actually like very important, and a lot of people haven't been like looking at this time frame. But on the 3 month time frame, this is the so essentially it's the quarterly time frame. So each candle is three months. We're basically retesting the quarterly candle on Bitcoin on the 3 month time frame on the 21 exponential moving average, which, as you guys know, I love using the 21 or the 55 EMA as like my guide for long term trend direction. So really only lost the 21 quarterly EMA once in its history in 2022, but before that it's been pretty much 100% perfect and staying above it. So really what I'm looking at is that Bitcoin actually, if you zoom out on a quarterly time frame, it's still making higher highs and lower and higher lows. So actually Bitcoin, I think long term bullish, like on the quarterly time frame, I'd be saying to be buying the dip. But that's on the quarterly. So as long as Bitcoin stays above, it's called like 59, yeah, like 60,000, which is basically where we bottomed out earlier this month when the war started, then I think we're going to see continuation higher in the long term. But we still have like 19 days left to go on the quarterly time frame. So still need to wait. Like this isn't 100% sure. But if it does close above 60,000, then I would actually be bullish on Bitcoin. As far as the daily, it's still kind of just chopping around. And let's see. For some reason, my trading view isn't loading. Let me try to refresh. Let me go back to Bitcoin. Yeah, on the daily, Bitcoin is still just chopping around, more or less. So we did have this break above the 21, which was a big signal for me on March 4th, but then it was like a false breakout. We are breaking above it now again, but we still need to take out like this level at, it's called like 72.5. If we can get above 72.5, then I think we're going to like 80K. But for right now, it's just very choppy, and yeah, I think it's just very choppy, and everything else looks pretty much the same. Let me look at Ethereum. Ethereum almost same thing. Like it had same exact pattern. Had a false break above the 21, went below, and now it's just like barely trying to get above. So just very weak price action. Not a lot of volume happening right now. Overall, like not much has changed since last week. I think the price of Bitcoin last Thursday was it's pretty much exactly the same price as a week ago. It was at 70,800. Now it's 70,300. So yeah, not much changed. So I don't know. Yeah, kind of a boring market, to be honest. for me.
Okay, great. Thanks for your chart. Thanks for Boris. Well, next one, let's hear from Dylan.
How's it, guys? There we go. Yeah, so I actually just took a long for ICP now on like a 5x leverage just because I was waiting for this breakout like the whole day. So basically, yesterday we had like a 25% move to the upside for ICP. Not too sure what it was about, but we literally pumped 25% and then retraced pretty much around about 70-75% of that move. And then now we are getting a breakout. So I'm expecting ICP to continue higher. We did get a break of trend. We are above this gap, this fair value gap over here. So I did actually enter a long over here. I did post in the Telegram group as well. So most of the people would get it. So I'm quite bullish on ICP. Structurally, it looks pretty good on the higher time frames as well. Just waiting for this to load. For some reasons, not loading. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so 15-minute 1 hour looks good. I expect ICP to continue going higher from here. So this is the one token that I'm looking at. If we go to Ethereum, I was looking at a shorts from this value area high over here. So basically, as you can see, a value area high is basically just where a lot of people are shorting the market. So around about like 2067, a lot of people are shorting this area. As you can see price tries to take it. We don't take it. There is also like this potential trend over here, holding it back. But, what I'm looking at for ETH is if we somehow start closing it like above this level and take out these highs over here, then we can potentially see price going higher. But yeah, right now, like Boris did say, like, the market it's quite choppy. You kind of have to find tokens that, are going to pop. But that's pretty hard to do, or like that are they're going to, sell off. But with ETH, it's just kind of just rangy. Price is still trading in this like triangle formation. So for me, not really interested in anything until ETH starts to break like this previous high at like 2085, or if it breaks like 2007, because this is your previous day high and previous day low. So like this is where the liquidity is most likely drawn. So US session is going to open very soon, so there is potential for ETH to like take out this high and then even flip bearish from that point. So yeah, I'll be watching something like that for ETH. And then for Bitcoin, I'm also waiting for a long year for Bitcoin. Right now, we're still getting rejected. So it's a similar setup to the RCP one, but RCP did actually break out. But with Bitcoin, I'm waiting for Bitcoin just a small little scalp back up to. There's a lot of liquidation sitting at around about like 72K, right? So 36 million worth of shorts will be liquidated. Not that much compared to like other types of markets or like other days. But for now, this is what we have. So we have 72K. There's a potential level there. So what I'm waiting for is I'm literally just going to wait for the 1 hour candle to close above this value area high, which is where most of the volume has been traded. You can see a lot of people are shorting this level, right? So think about it, if people are shorting the zone, they're going to have stop loss like above these wicks over here. So you want to actually take out that level first before you actually go long. So for me, I'm just going to wait for that, a 1 hour candle to close above there. Then I'll look for a longer. Remember, I'm just trading what's on the chart. Don't really care what actually happens. But in terms of like now, it is retracing a little bit. I'm not going to look for a short at this level because we are holding this previous structure over here. But I will be looking for a potential long if we do break out of this zone over here. So something to note, okay? And then I also want to quickly chat about USDT dominance, right? So right now with USDT dominance, it's a little bit, in order for longs to be valid for most tokens, we do need to see price actually start breaking this level here, right? Because USDT dominance is basically the inverse of crypto. So like whenever this comes down, generally crypto goes up. So if this were to break this level today, then I will be looking for a lot of longs on multiple tokens. But you can see how price is still holding this level of support. So that's why we are getting rejected right now for most of the tokens. So just watch this. If you guys are watching, just draw this trend, from the 1 hour time frame, just to show you if we do lose this zone, this is where we're going to see quite a nice move for crypto. Okay, because we have this level over here that I'm looking at for USDT dominance, which is this low over here. So if we can take out that low and potentially move, take out this level over here, then there's a potential for crypto getting a little bounce, right? So I'm watching this zone very, very closely, guys. I do think that it's super important in order for like altcoins and Bitcoin and all that to pump. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. And then I do want to quickly go over what was Hype. Yeah, I mean Hype's just, I was looking for sell if we broke structure today, but Hype's just been so bullish, right? If you look at the weekly, it's just crazy how bullish this has been. So I mean, a couple weeks ago, I actually tried to long this breakout on the weekly, and then it didn't hit my level, and then it came back down and actually got stopped out at that zone. But if you look at Hype, I mean, on the weekly time frame, this is a huge candle, took out the last week's highs. I still think that this is a good token for like spot, which is why I have been accumulating this token for potential upside. There is like these levels 39, 49, and 59. I can easily see Hype going a lot higher than 59. So it's already at 37. So I mean, at current price, to get back up to all-time highs around about 60%. So it's quite a nice spot position, which is why I'm speaking about it here. This is one token that I'm actually putting most of my bags in. And then also XRP is also another one. I think XRP is really oversold right now. I do think we can come lower, but I'm just a big advocate of XRP. And then one last thing, let me just jump through, is Total 3. So I like to speak about Total 3 because it's like the market cap of all the altcoins. And what I want to speak about quickly is that this level here is a huge zone for Total 3, right? If we had to lose this zone, then altcoins are going to go a lot lower. But I still think that holding this zone is pretty bullish in a way, because this is a bounce zone, right? This is the weekly time frame. Multiple weeks have been bouncing from this level. So I want to see how this weekly candle closes. If we can start closing back above like this previous week's high, let me just chuck that. There we go. Which is around about 735. We close above there, then I'm gonna be ultra bullish. But until then, like looking at the lower time frames, it's kind of just ranging right now, right? So like, we do have this level, this trend over here. You see, like the thing is right now, we currently just consolidating, right? There's nothing really we can do in terms of like most tokens. There is this kind of flag pattern happening over here, so if we were to break out of this flag pattern on the daily, then I would probably just look at longing most tokens. But if we break below here, then we can look to shorts, some other tokens. So it's very, very choppy right now. Like this has been going on since the beginning of Feb. It's already the 12th of March, right? So kind of just chop. But it's getting very, very close for a massive move, right? So we either going to break higher or we either going to break lower, right? So it's important just to wait for the daily candle to actually give us confirmation where we're going to go. So like, let's just say, for example, this daily candle closes above this level tomorrow, and we get a retest. Once we flip bullish, then I'll be looking at multiple longs on alts, right? But if we close below here and then we get a retest and we flip bearish, then sells become valid, right? But it's hard to do anything within this zone here, which is why it's been kind of tricky. But once we break out of this zone, it's gonna be a lot more confirmation and a lot more upside or downside potential. And also for the swing traders, it'll be a lot easier because they would have more, because right now there's been a lot of fake outs, right? With all the tokens, there's been pumping, there's been dumping, and then literally just coming back to like the current level that it was at yesterday or like the day before. So been a lot of fake outs, been super hard for swings and also for scalps even. But this is what I'm looking at for Total 3. And yeah, I'm kind of, I think Bitcoin's going to take out 72K today just based on like how the chart looks. I think we're going to break out this level over here. Newark session is coming in like 4 minutes, I believe. So we'll see what happens. But if we take out this level over here, we'll be looking to short the zone over here. There's a lot of liquidation sitting there, maybe like a SFP or something. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for today.
Okay, great details. Thanks for Dylan. Well, next one, let's hear from Lee.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, from my side, basically, first we start from the macro perspective, and the data. Wait a minute. Yeah, and Actually, recently the macro data is stable and with no expectations of interest rate cuts in the near term. And yes, we know the CPI is today. And additionally, on-chain data indicates the predominantly bearish sentiment currently, and with no significant macroeconomic stimulus observed. The labor market is cooling down, and the wage growth is slowing, and the Federal Reserve may cut interest rate twice this year. And we find the graph in the trading view from the this we can find from technical analysis. The main trend is still characterized by large scale consolidation and bottom formation within the range of we just take the ETH for example. It's between the like 2150 and to the bottom and the 1750. It's a very wild and range. So maybe during this couple of weeks or days, the price is going to flow up, down, and within this channel. And currently, the small range is showing the consolidation around ETH like 2010 until 2080, and same as the BTC. And hold long position if it stabilizes above, or avoid aggressive short position if it doesn't show strong bearish momentum. And what we need to do is to focus on the macro news. Like we find, we find the Americans, like the American Treasury is here. So the rate is pumping up, and it means the price is going down. And during the period of the war, everybody is thinking that the price of gold should pumping up, but the result is not that high. Is still between this range. So that was why the reason there is a war, but the price of the gold is still stable. Uh, Maybe because of expectation of cut the interest rate is low, so which means the money from institution or some banks or investors, they just put the money into some short term like high profits return some assets instead of putting the money into gold or crypto market. So basically, I would say the market, the price of ETH or BTC would still flow during this channel from this bottom to this resistant level. And if the price attack here or here, whatever is bottom or the top, it will need the macro news attack, or just maybe we need to find some macro news benefits the market, or means short the market. So recently the price I think still in this range. Yeah, it's basically from my side.
Okay, great. Thanks, Freddie. Well, the last one we have Crypto Minister. Okay, let me share. Okay, Crypto Minister, can you hear me? Could you please open your microphone? Okay. Okay, you can speak now, I think. Hello? Anyone?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, great.
Okay. Let me share my screen. I'm trying to share my screen right now. I'm coming. Sorry. So let's go from Ethereum. Ethereum has been consolidating over time before we saw the surge in price last week. I hope you can hear me. So let's go to the 4 hours time frame. Sorry. Let's go to the 4 hours. So this is the 4 hours. When the market got to this zone here, we sold downward. So currently, over the past few days, we've seen the market rebound to about this resistance zone. I think on Ethereum 2,800, 2080 or thereabouts. And you can see over here the market has been touching this resistance zone over time. So for the weekend, one thing I observed lately about the market is that most of the time, unless there is unless there's a positive news, the market tends to dump aggressively during Friday to weekend, probably because of market closing, market traders closing their position and resting for the week. So this is on 4 hours over here. I caught the buy on lower time frame, just like I said, I'm a day trader over here on 15 minutes time frame, and the market has done um has gotten to the next target. So right now I am going to do more of waiting to see what the market reaction is going to be from this zone. Most likely we might since it is a resistance zone, as you can see, the market has been testing it over and over again. And when market tests a particular zone over and over again, most likely it is going to break it at the end of the day. I mean, it gets that particular zone gets weaker. So I expect the market most likely, though I don't predict. I react to each zone. Since the market is reacting to this resistance zone over here, I'll be waiting for an opportunity, most likely to sell on the lower time frame if I get such opportunity. And if I'm unable to sell on the lower time frame, if I see opportunity, if I spot opportunity to buy as well, I am going to buy. So most of the time, what I do is to react to each zone. When the market taps into any zone, either support or resistance, I try to see if there's opportunity. So right now, uh, we might see Ethereum retracing a bit downward, especially if there is no manipulation, probably to this zone over here, because there is an unfilled order block over here that the market is yet to tap, and all of these bottom here are more like series of liquidity zones, as the case may be. So, and that is that for Ethereum. And one thing about the crypto market is that when it has approached a particular key zone, most likely there's going to be a little bit of manipulation. So, what is best to do is to stay patient and see whether the market is going to break out of that zone to propel the market higher, or whether the market is going to break it downward. So for now, all eyes on what the market is going to do next. So I'm going to be waiting for the next opportunity. Yeah, on BTC over the week, I've been missing out on opportunities. Like I was meant to take a buy over here from this internal order block here, but I was not on seat, so the market moved past it already. So let's go to the 4 hours. On the 4 hours, I think during the last session, I highlighted this zone as a supply zone after there's been a lot of accumulated liquidities over this place. And as you can see, when market tapped into it, the market dumped downward, and we've seen reactions from this new order block over here, and that is why the market has been going higher. And right now, there's the supply order block over here. Just like I said, mostly things I do is to react to each zone. So if I see opportunity to either buy or sell. And since the market has touched this place, we've seen series of like rejection over this place. So currently what I am doing most is to wait patiently, because one of the virtues of a good trader is to wait till everything is extremely clear according to my playbook. So over here right now, I feel the market is trying to, since it has already tapped an order block, a buy order block over here, the market is trying to surge higher for us to create new market price. So I'm going to be waiting to see what the market has for us. If the market should break down this zone over here around 60, I think 68 or thereabout, that means the market most likely is going to dump downward. But if we should break above this high, the last high it created over here, this place, that means most likely the markets will start aiming for higher milestone around this next supply zone on, I think that's 75K, 76K, thereabout. So pending when the market is going to play out, if you can see over here on a larger view, this is more like market moving in almost similar direction, box to box, unlike when the market is moving on huge flow, higher highs and higher lows. So for now, what I'm going to do, which is my strategy, is to wait to see what the market does and to react to it. On other pairs, I let me check on XRP. I don't really think there is much there is much opportunity, especially for the last few weeks. Since the month has started on XRP, I've not really seen an opportunity to trade, unlike February and January. And of course, the month just started. Today is on the 12th, so let's see how it goes. So I'm going to stay very very patient and see how the market unfolds. So that is going to be all for today. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks for Cryptominist. Wow, guys, that's all the market analysis for this week, and we have some questions for our traders. Okay. Wait. Okay, question one is, with geopolitical tensions putting gold prices higher than the tokenized gold XAUT gaining traction in crypto, could you share the key trading logic behind the gold and some strategies our trade users should consider? Yes, for some strategies, firstly, let's hear from Priya.
Okay, thank you. So my view, because of the rising geopolitical tensions, brainwashes they are actually increasingly turning towards a safe haven assets, and that is of course the gold. And in the crypto space, like tokenized gold, which is Tether Gold. That is also gaining attention because it combines the stability of physical gold with the liquidity of blockchain trading. So, from the perspective of traders, actually, gold is mainly used as a hedge against uncertainty and inflation. So, when the global risk increase, capital often shifts from the volatile assets into the gold. That's common. For me, a smart approach, what I think is a portfolio di- diversification is important, because keeping some exposure to tokenized gold while still holding major crypto assets like many tokens which we are holding, like majorly Bitcoin and other altcoins as well, whatever. So this also help to balance the volatility when staying within the crypto ecosystem. So what I personally think, the tokenized gold is becoming an effective bridge between the traditional safe haven investing and the digital assets as well. Thank you.
Okay, great, great. Thanks for your answer for this question. Then let's hear from Jay. Jay, if you have time. Okay, great.
Yeah. I have time. I have time. Thank you. Thank you. So for gold, huh? Usually I did all this scalping on gold because it's really hard to swing because gold is so correlated with the news, and sometimes I did, but it's hard to do 1 minute. So if you guys wanna try to scalp, just do scalp on 5 minutes. But remember, for gold, the key is risk and reward. I mean, like at least you have to have 1.5 until 1.2 risk and reward. And the trading logic is, since the gold price action is kind of like out of nowhere, sometimes so many no, so many liquidation grab. All right, so many. So that's why if you config with with your chart, uh just leave it until it stop loss or until it hit your take profit. So that's my advice for gold, because if you out and in and out, in and out, in and out, because you're gonna burn some fees along the way. So better just leave it if you want to not trade gold. Okay, Nora, thank you.
Okay, makes sense. Thanks for Jay. Well, next one, let's hear from Lee. Okay, Lee, can you hear me? Okay, I think Lee made some network problem. Then I think Boris can be the first. Boris.
Yeah, so I think, um, yeah, right now with the the whole geopolitical situation going on, I think I think what's cool about tokenized gold in particular is that you can like trade it over the weekend, and uh, it can kind of predict the prices of actual gold when it opens, like Sunday evening or like Monday. So yeah, I think with the Zao and like tokenized gold, one thing you could do is like, you can trade it over the weekend, which I think, um, you can see that it responds to the events that are going on in the Middle East right now. So it's actually a very very tradable asset right now. Even on the weekend, like there's a lot of activity happening, and on silver too. So I think, um, I don't know, it's relatively new, but I would just tell people this is like a new instrument, and it's actually very useful for like traditional traders, or like traders who are in commodities and they trade gold. Maybe they will trade tokenized gold on the weekends when the gold markets are closed. So actually, I think it's a very good tool for, yeah, basically just to continue trading gold and silver even on weekends. So that would be, I guess, my logic or strategy that I would use for this.
Okay. Okay, great, great. Thanks for the suggestion, Boris. Well, next one, let's hear from Crypto Minister.
Well, personally, one thing that has to do with strategies is that most of the time it is always personal, especially on users or investors' risk tolerance level. We need to always remember that gold is is a commodity, like an asset. It is just by privilege of blockchain that we have the opportunity as crypto enthusiasts to be able to also like invest along in it. What I'm going to say at the end of the day is that um, the the gold asset is very very volatile, you know. So, and if anyone has interest in investing in it, because at the end of the day, currently gold and silver is literally the major commodities skyrocketing in price. Though currently we are seeing some level of retracement. So anybody that wants to invest, I'm going to advise that it is better to invest cautiously. You know, right now, beyond gold, the price of crude oil, considering the tension at the Middle East at the moment. So anybody that wants to invest in asset like this should do DCA, so you can invest gradually and take your profit as market skyrockets. But uh, the best of sentiments with gold is the fact that because it is a commodity, most of the time the price tends to like go up, unlike our unlike our major coins like BTC or Ethereum, that at the end of the day when people take profit, it dumps and then repeats cycle of go on and bear on. I think gold does not have cycles like go on, bear on, so it's going to be like a very nice investment idea. However, we must also consider the risk and the level of volatility that it has to do with it. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks for your suggestion. Thanks for Crypto Minister. Well, guys, let's dive into the question two. We've seen several geopolitical conflicts already in 2026, and they've clearly moved the crypto market. How do you think Bitcoin responds to these events? How should traders position themselves if something like this happens again? For this question, let's first invite Lee.
Okay. There is the internet issue, so let's jump to the question two.
Hmm? Well, Lee, can you hear me? I think you can open your microphone. Okay, I believe your network is not very good. Then let's invite Priya first.
Yeah, this is a nice question actually. So the conflicts, actually the geopolitical conflicts usually create this kind of a short-term volatility um, into the crypto market. So not only in the crypto market, every market move goes the same. So what I think is investors also often move to safer assets. That's everyone wish, and everyone needs the safer investment side, so without the risk. So risk assets like crypto is full of risk. We know that. So maybe the temporary drop. This could be the temporary drop, but historically, when a Bitcoin tends to recover quickly, because many investors also view it as a hedge against the currency instability and also the financial uncertainty. So right now, the key here is the risk management. That's what. During the geopolitical events, it's better to reduce the excessive leverage and watch a key support levels closely. That's very important. So at the same time, we also see the sudden dips, and the sudden dips can create buy the tip opportunities. So maybe the dollar cost average is also the best option for making a risk management strategy. So whatever we have to remain strong, because anytime the crypto may reflect more positive. So overall, geopolitical shocks may cause a short-term fear, but they often create the strategic entry opportunities for the disciplined traders. So that's what I think personally, but we have the great future for the crypto as well. So this is going to be the very short term recovery will happen so sooner. So that's what I think about.
Okay, great. Thanks for insight. Well, then let's hear from Jay.
Uh, uh, oh, yeah, it's correlated, to be honest. But the problem is just, is about the news. Is it the new news or the shock news? If it's like an old news like Iran versus Israel, that was old. So that's why Bitcoin didn't respect the news and just respect the price action instead. So if the news is shocking, like a new example, like a new war zone, like let's say North Korean join to war, that's gonna be bad. But if the but we already expected because the news said it the missile from Iran from Israel hit the North Korean embassy. So some kind like that, we already knew it. So there's 50-50 chance like market will react like we don't care, or market will care. But let's say it's new, like that was gonna be shocking. Like the first out war with Ukraine and Russia. So that was new and no one expect that. So that's why we got the crash. But if we expect it, there's no need to worry. All right. So that's the theory for the high impact. I call it high impact because this is like some kind of rare event. So yeah. Thank you, Nora.
Okay, thanks for advice. Thanks for Jay. Well, Lee, do you fix your network?
Yeah. My bad. Sorry. Just the internet issue today is so weird. Yeah, and I know about this question. So my answer is about actually in the short term and the gold and BTC show an inverse relationship. Well, but it's different in the long term. They're similar, yeah, in long term, I think. And the BTC clearly exhibits the characteristics of a short term risky asset. It often drops by around maybe 10% at the beginning of the conflict, but it's actually rebounds quickly. Before the 70 days, return to about 70K and within a few of days. In the long term, it is regarded as the safe haven asset, such as the gold but it is unlike the pure gold. BTC has the high correlationship with the between American stocks and kind of that and inflows into institutional ETFs and on-chain wealth accumulation have made the bottom shallower and the positioning for recurrence. So my suggestion is about maybe a short-term defense, place short orders in advance or buy puts at the resistance level and reduce leverage when the index spikes and the hedge with some stable coins or gold or USDT. And if we like sizing the rebound, go long in batches at the low after liquidations, because historically the average gain over 30 days is around 10 or 50%. Pay attention to reserve signals of net inflows into ETFs, which is very good signal for us to catch the short-term change of a crypto market. If you can also do some adjustments of your portfolio management, like increase the weight of BTC to 50 or 60% during the conflict period and avoid altcoins because the liquidity of altcoins nowadays is very low. Risk control. And also it is very important to limit the losses from the single event and use self-custody to avoid platform risks. Yeah, this is from my side.
Okay, great suggestion. Thanks for Lee. But guys, let's dive into the question 3. In this era-defining collision of ideas, what advice could you give to investors amidst micro volatility, shifting crypto narratives, and the AI surge? How should one strategically allocate both attention and capital? And for this question, let's first invite Boris.
That's a good question. I would say, no, I would just stick to the best. Yeah, I guess the best investments, or the top performing assets in the market. So, for me, that's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and I would maybe try to avoid like meme coins and more like newer projects. Right now, I think it's just safer to be in Bitcoin, probably Ethereum, maybe Solana. Maybe even tokenized gold and silver might not be a bad idea. Yeah, so right now I would definitely be staying away from meme coins, and I would focus on like safer assets like Bitcoin and now that we have the token like Tether Gold and Tether Silver, then I would just focus or allocate your capital towards those assets right now.
Okay, well, pay attention. Thanks for Boris. Then let's invite Crypto Minister.
Well, one thing about investment is that it is always dynamic. And from what has happened, especially for the last bull run, you can see that the narrative and the way it all played out was extremely different from how we experienced it around 2020 or thereabouts. Uh, well, one thing right now, the most surprising thing right now about the market is that you can't. It is even it is hard to spot that, oh, this is what is going to bring that huge money for you. We've tried. People have tried meme coin. It has most of the time failed. People have tried um, some exchange tokens. It has failed. Because at the end of the day, we realized that major investors were putting in their money mostly on BTC and Ethereum, neglecting the majority of the altcoin. So what I'm going to advise, most especially, is that it is better to be more positioned for to be more positioned for any narrative or any sector, so far it is giving that fundamental backing that it is going to do well. We can't just at this point we can't just spot or say that, oh, this particular narrative or this exact AI or thereabouts or project is going to be the best for investors. The best we can do as investors is to be very active and to stay positioned if there is and to stay positioned, especially if the update is coming from a trusted um, analyst, that has proven himself over time. Then we go in um, while putting the risk at heart, and at the same time, once we get profit. Once we get profit from our investment, then we take it to also like diversify into other portfolio. Because currently the space generally you can't stay on a particular project for long if you truly want to reap from it. So you need to invest. When you see profit, you always take profit and you don't leave money on the table. Thank you.
Okay, great advice. Thanks for Crypto Minister. I think the last one we can hear from Lee.
Okay, no problem. And basically, I think we can divide our attentions into three important parts. It's going to be macro volatility, a shift in crypto narratives, and still AI. So we need to spend time looking at for example, macro information like the Federal Reserve's pulse and geological stagflation risks and crypto narratives from speculation to infrastructure, RWA, and AI. So my advice is prioritize the assets over stories, and the tactical allocation is better than holding stably. So if you got some time about your attention, which about the allocation, I would like most of time, maybe 40% on macro. You need to focus on the oil prices, DXY, the Federal Reserve, and the U.S. midterm elections, and also maybe 30% on chain data like crypto ETF inflows, outflows, RW settlements, and PROSIF wallets, and last of your attention maybe on AI. Like computing power verification and the DeepIn, and here are some institutional capital allocation suggestions. Yeah, and if you are definitely right, I think it's definitely right for you to to focus on dollar cost averaging into BTC or ETH, like around maybe 50%, and it's a good choice for you to move your money to safe haven assets, and next maybe ETH, or which also include like stable coins and narrative engines, and RWA tokenization, and maybe 10 or 20% on AI, or even some high alpha assets or altcoin, and maybe 10% on which stable coin or cash, and which is very more safe. So the key is, the circle is highly volatile. Sometimes the crypto market drawn downs of 20%, even more. It's very common. So capital will retilt back to the BTC coin or gold. Is just like cycle. So what I would say is, don't go all in on a single item, and yourself management and small leveraged positions, and maybe this can sort of help you to survive the bearish market. Yeah.
Okay, great. Good luck. Thanks for the. Well, guys, that's all the time for today. I bet today's live stream is very important for our audience. Be sure to keep an eye on CoinW and our esteemed guest through the Twitter account as we continue to share valuable insights on the world of crypto. Stay safe and take care about your sport. Okay, good luck, guys. That's all the time for today.